Hi, everyone. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I'm Leslie, and I am cruising the world on Royal Caribbean's Ultimate World Cruise. We've been circumnavigating the globe for what seems like 5 minutes, but it has been 7 months and 7 days. And it has been absolutely extraordinary. I've gotten tons of questions and comments about, like, are you crazy? What is it like? How do you sail for that long? What do you do about your life at home? All of that. So if you have any questions, I encourage you to always put them in the comments. I love sharing every single bit of it with you. So excited because yesterday we arrived into Portugal. We spent the day running all over Lisbon, and today we're in Porto. Porto is not only the home to port wine, it's actually one of the oldest cities in Europe. Its rich history, iconic architecture, bustling waterfront, amazingness make it one of the best destinations, cruise travel in general, that needs to be on your bucket list. We have a boatload to cover, so let's hit the streets running and go check out Porto. Our ship docks at the Lixos cruise port, which is about 10 kilometers from the city center. We hop on Royal Caribbean shuttle to make it into town just in time for our 10 a.m. tour of the Bolsa Palace. Now, I was here in Porto in 2022. I did the tour of the Bolsa Palace, but it is that good that I absolutely do not want to miss it. Again, on our stop today, it's incredible. Now, when you hear palace, I was searching for a palace. It's not. It looks like a government building. And it does because it was designed to impress foreign dignitaries and investors. It was the stock exchange palace. So just know that it doesn't look like a palace on the outside, but wait until you see the inside. Super important to book tickets for this online in advance. They have individual time slots and different language tours. You have to take a guided tour, and of course you want it in the language that you understand, and so you want to be sure to book it in advance. Palacio de Bolsa, or the Stock Exchange Palace, it's a masterpiece of 19th century neoclassic architecture and an UNESCO World Heritage Site. Inside is stunning, but the highlight to this tour is the Arab Room. An opulent space inspired by the Alhambra in Granada, featuring intricate gold leaf details and vibrant mosaics. Between the hardwood floors, the exotic wood, this room is incredible, and it's featured many concerts. Can you imagine seeing a concert in this room? And while you're here, nearby you can explore the São Bento train station. It's famous for its blue azulejos tiles, and the Ribeira district, a vibrant riverside area filled with restaurants and shops. For us, our next stop is the Church of São Francisco. This is the Golden Church, the Church of São Francisco, one of the most dazzling churches in Portugal. From the outside, it appears relatively simple, but once you step inside, you're greeted by a jaw-dropping Baroque interior covered in over 400 kilograms of gold leaf. It is stunning. And beneath the church, you can visit the eerie catacombs. Definitely a unique experience and a church you do not want to miss while you're here in Porto. So Porto's another hilly area, and so you want to be prepared. Make sure you wear comfy walking shoes. There are funiculars here too. So if you watched the last video on Lisbon, you learned a little bit about the funiculars. You can use them here too. They're just helpful because of all the hills. It just gives you a little bit of a break. If you do choose to walk it, which we did, it's special because every turn you make, you'll see stunning azulejos. Those are the tiles that cover the buildings here. They are everywhere, all different colors. Like I said, even the train station is covered in tiles. They depict everything from religious stories to everyday life. The art of the azulejos are woven into Porto's identity. It's a photographer's dream. Of course, there's tons of shopping to be done in Portugal. Tons of little shops, big stores, but one thing you want to keep an eye on here in Porto is cork. Cork, that material is huge in Porto. You can get cork purses, cork wallets, everything you could imagine made out of cork, and here's the place that you want to get it. So note to self, buy something of cork when in Porto. We took a quick detour to a park where we found the whimsical Laughing Men sculptures, to the Torre dos Clérigos, an iconic bell tower that offers panoramic views of the city. Nearby, the Igreja do Carmo is another must-see with its stunning azulejos facade. Just the outside of the Carmo is worth seeing. The inside is equally as amazing. Down by the waterfront, we stopped for lunch, soaking in this incredible, vibrant atmosphere that the Ribeira and Porto provides. There's street musicians, local vendors, the tram rumbling across the Dom Luís Bridge make it just such a lively spot. And if all you did in Porto was go down to the riverfront, shop in the little shops, there's vendors on the streets, eat, drink, watch the people go by, you will have a beautiful day. Speaking of the Dom Luís I Bridge, it's an architectural marvel and designed by a student of Gustav Eiffel. So Eiffel makes me think of Paris, and Paris makes me think, just gonna leave that right there. Back to Porto. The Dom Luís I Bridge connects Porto to Gaia, where you'll find the famous port wine cellars. Gaia is a fun side trip if you have time while you're here in Porto. You can wander around, stop in Sandeman's cellar for a tour, or taste some of the incredible port wine. When I was here in 2002, we spent the day in Gaia, and the street art is incredible. It's definitely more of a local vibe. We stopped in a little wine kind of cafe. There was probably 3 tables. The owner was incredible. He made us this really cool charcuterie board, and on it was this kind of like, I don't know, peach jam or some kind of fruit jam. It was so good that I asked him about it, and he said that the school kids behind their little restaurant make this jam, and they sell it to the restaurateurs. The restaurateurs' money goes to help the kids buy the books at their school. And I loved that. I wanted to buy bottles of this jam if I could have gotten it home. Just a really special stop. And I need to search for it, but if I find it, I'll put the name of the place that we ate at in 2022 in the caption. But Gaia is just a fun area to walk all around. But along the river too here is the flat bottom boats. You can literally just walk up to any vendor along the water and take a boat ride up the Tagus River. Just a super cool area. Everything here on the riverfront is just super cool. So we are starving. We stop at one of the riverfront restaurants for lunch. I order Porto's famous sandwich, the Francesinha. It wasn't the best choice for me because I'm a vegetarian, but it's a must try for meat lovers. I was able to fish out the meat and it was delicious regardless. If you order one of these sandwiches, I always try to eat as local as I can in these different ports. It's just special for me. But if you order it, allow enough time. I think this restaurant actually had the restaurant next door make mine. It took a while and it was huge. It's definitely shareable. If you have a meat lover in your party, they will extra enjoy it. It was delicious. Just go prepared. So we were stuffed, but a side note in Portugal in general is to be sure to get the pastel de nata. It's a little custard pie, and it's, you know, they're known all over Portugal for this little custard pie, and they're delicious. I managed to get out of Portugal this time with only having one. When I was here in 2022, it was an obscene amount of these little custard pies I ate. So tips on exploring here in Porto is obviously you can jump on one of the funiculars. It's a great way to save your legs while tackling Porto's hills. You can get an Andante card for unlimited rides. Typically can find these cards either in the metro station or at the kiosks right by the funiculars. Another stop here in Porto is the Livrario Lello, a literary gem. Nestled in the heart of Porto, it's hailed as one of the most beautiful bookstores in the world. It was established in 1906 by the Lello brothers, and its neo-Gothic masterpiece captivates visitors with its stunning architecture. It has wooden staircases, ornate carvings, a magnificent stained glass skylight, and it just feels like you're stepping back in time. It's no wonder this bookstore is rumored to have inspired J.K. Rowling during her time in Porto. The downside to visiting the Livrario Lello is the crowds. When we were here in 2002, it was bad. This time, like the line was down the street, around the corner. It was just crazy. The place is incredible. It's definitely worth the stop, but you need to weigh how much time you have because you have to pay to get in. If you pay to get in and then buy something within the bookstore, you're credited for your ticket. And you have a time slot, but there's just so many people. And yeah, I don't know, just I would go super early or super late or be very strategic about the stop if you're going to stop because you will wait in a significant line. Perched on top of the Pena Ventosa Hill is the Porto Cathedral. It stands as a monumental symbol of the city's rich history. Dating back to the 12th century, this architectural marvel seamlessly blends Romanesque, Gothic, and Baroque styles, reflecting the various periods of its construction and renovation. The fortress-like facade, with its twin towers, exudes a sense of grandeur and resilience. Inside, the Gothic cloister adorned with the traditional azulejos tiles, narrate biblical scenes, and it's incredible little retreat stepping in here off the city streets. Don't miss the rose window. The 13th century rose window is a remarkable feature of the cathedral's facade. Don't miss the incredible view of Porto and the Douro River, making it a perfect stop for photographers. Okay, so we have ran like little kids all over Porto. It is such a easy city to just run like little kids. And yeah, it's just, there's stuff everywhere, and it's just so vibrant and young and fun and yummy, and just, yeah, such a great port stop. And just a great stop in Portugal, whether you're on a cruise ship or not. So we get back on board the Serenade from our day in Porto. And as in many stops, one of the things that Royal Caribbean committed to when we started the World Cruise was they were going to have local artists, local singers, dancers, comedians, musicians, anyone and anything that was local on board before we sailed away. So in Porto, there was the coolest group. It was called a tuna, like a fish, but it wasn't a fish.
So a tuna is actually a tradition that started out in Spain, okay, mid-19th century. So a group of university students, they were kind of fed up with the folkloric music, and so they wanted to do something that was better, but still maintain the traditional feeling of it, okay? And so they created the tuna, and we are the Tuna of Medicina of Porto.
And these men just happen to be medical students, and they all have musical backgrounds of different sorts. And they came together, and they have this troupe that entertains. And they were so fun. They were so grateful to be on board. And all of these local artists, the best thing about these shows, for lack of a better word, is the audience on the Serenade. No matter who they were, no matter how good they were, we went ballistic for them. We were just so happy to have the local culture, local traditions. They're so happy and proud to present it to us. And just, yeah, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it, because it was just such a special event. And at the end, you could just imagine these local artists, say, ta-da! And then everybody's on their feet screaming and cheering for them and asking for encores. So special. Every single one of them has been so special. And this one was just such a unique presentation and so fun and just, yeah, really cool. Just a great way to end an incredible couple days in Portugal. And last time I was here, and again today, I would go back to Portugal in a blink. I want to scrub every single inch of the country. Love, love, love Portugal. So Porto just marries the old and these azulejos tiles that are all over Portugal. Everything old, the oldest city in Europe, with new, vibrant, young street art and food and bars and restaurants. Just the perfect combination to just a perfect day. Porto's charm is just undeniable. Now, I want to tell you about when I was here in 2002. I stayed at a hotel called Maison El Bar, right in the center of the city. And we had high hopes for our hotels, but this place blew us away. The front desk person was literally outside the hotel waiting for us when we arrived, knew us by name, escorted us in. We had an incredible room, wine and food waiting for us in our room, impeccable location. Cannot recommend this place highly enough. I obviously didn't stay here this time since we're on the cruise ship. Maison Albar is the place to stay. Such a perfect location and an impeccable service, comfort. Yeah, it was incredible. Porto's not just a destination. It's an experience that lingers in your memory long after you've departed. It wedges its way into your heart. You'll know when you go that you'll think, gosh, why didn't we come here sooner? It's so, so, so great. So I wonder what you thought of Porto. Have you been here already? What'd you do? Where'd you stay? Just your thoughts on Porto. And did you try the port wine? Not a huge port wine person, but there were several people on board that bought port wine, so we were able to taste it. One little sip of that is enough for me, but I wonder what you thought of the video today. I love your comments. I appreciate any of your feedback. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because we have our last stop in Spain coming up. We're circling back to Spain so that we can make our way to Ireland. Ireland has a super, super special stop for lots of reasons. So don't forget to subscribe so you're notified of Spain, and then you'll get the info on Ireland. And behind Ireland is a you're not going to believe it stop. So yeah, the note there is be sure to subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Tell all your friends and family about subscribing. Oh, this YouTube thing is it's just a lot in being found in this like sea of everybody. So your comments, your thumbs up, your interaction with me is so important, and I'm so grateful for it. So like in Lisbon, obrigado means thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And until Vigo, Spain, bye for now.